Take a walk here in Huntington Beach, down the pier, and find yourself on the sands of the AVP. This is Surf City, USA, and it is the perfect location for the first Heritage event in 2024. We've already seen a full day of action, and there is one match remaining on our stadium court coverage. That's a heck of a seat right there, Rich Lamborn. I think I'd pull that one up. It's almost as high as our castle here on stadium court.
That's right. The sun's come out a little bit. We got the last match of the day on stadium court. Kissed by the sun. I love it. I
love it. I'm Cameron Irwin. This guy's Rich Lamborn, and we are set for another showdown. The #1 seed back out on the court for the women's side. Taryn Kloth, Kristen Nuss. They were superb to start off the day. We saw them earlier in a matchup. But this team, can they take it all, Rich, is the real question.
Well, certainly we would have to say yes to that, right? They played flawlessly this morning. Can they keep that going? We'll have to wait and see. They're going to face a tough opponent here in Tony Rodriguez and Gina Urango, of course.
That's the #9 seed, and this would be the winners from the first round. So that's that second round showcased. You also have, in terms of contention, the #5, the #4, 3 as well in the mix. That's Chang and Hughes. And not to mention Humana Paredes and Wilkerson, the #4 seed. Flint and Scholes, they're kind of my dark horse in this competition. Julia Scholes had to deal with a couple injuries this offseason. However, she is a physical beast, and I know she put so much work in the gym, so can't wait to see what they are going to put together alongside Betsy Flint. Again, one of those duos that has stuck together from 2023 now into 2024. You also just saw the showdown, Kleiman and Ross taking the loss, the 10 seed moving on to the quarterfinals. And again, those two talking about expectations and kind of having to change that as they head off now into the Heritage events. But let's send it down to Mark Sherman as we get set for our final match of day one.
I'm just gonna let it roll off the tongue. It just happens. Ladies and gentlemen, sorry, you'll know what I'm talking about in a second. Final match of the day. Let's do this thing. Both these teams won their first match of the day, and those first young players. I love the city she's from. I haven't really fully figured out how to say it right. Out of Louisiana State University, out of Santa Maria. Just let it roll. Santa Maria, Louisiana, ladies and gentlemen. Let me hear it for Tony, Big Tony Rodriguez. No problem with this one out of Los Alamitos, California. That's a fun one, too. That one just rolls off the tongue. Also out of Los Alamitos. And now into what, you're in Hermosa Beach, right? You guys in Hermosa or Torrance, or you're in Hermosa? Yeah, I love it. Ladies and gentlemen, one of the best, one of my favorite people on tour, one of the best servers on tour out of the University of Southern California. She is Gina Urango. And their opponents. This first player originally out of Sioux Falls, South Dakota. I didn't give South Dakota any love last match. I know, I'm so sorry. I just threw out Baton Rouge. Out of Sioux Falls, first and foremost, ladies and gentlemen, absolutely. Went to Creighton, went down to LSU. Ladies and gentlemen, let me hear it for Taryn Kloth. Is the family here now, Kristen? Where's the family? Is she here? They're just around. Are they in the beer garden? Where are they? I know, there they are. Okay, I'm going to come say hi. Hi, family. Ladies and gentlemen, let me hear it for Kristen Nuss.
Kristen Nuss, Taryn Kloth rocking that #1 seed, having picked up more than one title a season ago. Now facing off against Gina Urango, the USC Trojan. They call it the Sandy Chirango. I'm here for that nickname. And Tony Rodriguez, you can see the knee taped up. Always such a pleasure to have Tony Rodriguez out on the court. She has dealt with a few injuries in her game. But man, it's fun to see her back out on the AVP sand.
Yeah, with the afternoon wind picking up a little bit, this right here that we're going to see from Gina, the jumps are going to be pivotal to the success or lack thereof of Tony and Gina.
Got a bunch of tigers out there too.
Yeah.
And some big time blocks. Tony Rodriguez, that goes up and over the top. Gina Urango, top server, brings that jump top spin.
Yeah, that was really the key element for Haley Harward, Kylie DeBerg, excuse me, in that last match against the A team. They served so impressively well, and that really just had the A team reeling from the start. Gina and Tony would love to do something similar here to the 1 seed.
Epic pickup on the side of Kloth and Nuss. And they find the error on the other side. I think they played the entirety of that rally just 1 foot above the sand.
Just keep it low. Keep it out of the wind, Cam.
It's like taking a 4-iron from the fairway.
Yeah, that's why I like to hit ground balls with my irons. Just keeps the wind off of it. Ooh.
That one hanging up in the wind. A serve for Kristen Nuss.
Now, those are always a little bit frustrating, right, when you give away freebies against a team as good as TKN.
There's no room for error against these guys. They start on Urango. And Gina has had quite a little bit of a turnaround in terms of her career. Last year, she had some really solid finishes, and it's been fun now to see her now in a new partnership. I know she was kind of looking to see which direction she'd go for her partnership, but Tony Rodriguez, a big-time block for someone that's a veteran like Gina Urango. It's got to be nice to have a steady block in front of her.
Yeah, it's always interesting because you kind of have the top 3 or 4 teams. Kristen actually missing the cut shot. We don't see that too often. But yeah, there's, you know, you've got your Chang and Hughes, your TKN, your Brandy and Mel. You've got the A team, you know, you've got your top teams, and then kind of that tier just underneath them. There's always a little bit of a merry-go-round of partnerships until people can settle into something where the chemistry just fits. And maybe this is it for Gina and Tony.
Gina was the 2016 AVP Most Improved Player. The first time she ever played on the AVP. Played a qualifier, that was back in 2006. And it took some time. She was going through school. Came back to the AVP full time.
2006, wow.
She had to be just a young buck.
I was middle-aged back then.
Yeah, and guess who she made her debut with?
Let's see, 2006.
This is going to be this is a fun one. Okay. No, it's actually Alex Kleinman.
There you go.
1 week after turning 17.
Wow, wow.
Urango back at the service line. She was a DS, an outside hitter at USC. Rodriguez and Urango just in their first event together. Rodriguez had been playing alongside Savvy Simo. He's now partnered up with Abby Van Winkle. Rich, where do you throw the defensive alignment against Taryn Kloth in terms of her attacking from the outside, the exterior?
Yeah, I mean, you've got to throw a mixture of kind of line blocks. You give up that line shot that she just hit right there because you got to dig in for that hard cross that we've seen from her a lot already here in the sands of Huntington Beach. And then I think you go 1s and kind of 4s was the mixture that Jake and Taylor and I like to use. And you know, you kind of keep the offense of the left side player guessing a little bit. Am I staying on the line? Am I diving into the angle? Does it work all the time? Of course not. But you do your best.
It only has to work about 75% of the time.
Yeah.
No. There's the full chase from Kristen Nuss. Rodriguez and Urango just trailing by 2 now.
And we go anchorman with it, you know, 60% of the time it works.
Works every time.
Every time.
How many anchorman quotes can you get into this broadcast, Rich?
Oh yeah, we'll do our best. We'll do our best.
Let's see. We got one. There's the infamous cut. Finding that. Again, I just don't know how you defend against Kristen Nuss, because every single shot is just so crispy.
Yeah, it's true. You know, the battle, I think, begins earlier than her contacting it offensively. I think you have to serve tough, right? Because if she's kind of in rhythm like that, there is, you know, it's like Mr. Miyagi, no can defense, right?
Okay, we're getting some other references in here.
We'll work it around.
We're circling the wagon here.
I'm good for nothing if not a movie quote here and there.
I mean, you were also speaking French last match, so
well,
why not?
In a French accent, anyways.
Again, just the second match for Taryn Kloth, Kristen Nuss. They picked up the first round versus Kina and Sowers, 21-11, 21-11. So it's been some quick volleyball for Team TKN. The team looking to Paris 2024. Gosh, I just can't even imagine what that feels like. As that's just out of bounds.
Fractionally wide.
But to qualify in one of the top teams in the world. So how do you deal with the preparation now in terms of just a few short months away from having one of the biggest, if not the biggest moment in your career at this point? Well,
first of all, I'm very happy for both of our women's teams because they have the opportunity to prepare on their own terms, meaning their spots have been locked up for a little while so they can kind of plan their tournament schedule. Kelly Chang was saying they're going on a little bit of a vacation, I think, while they're over in Europe. You know, maybe vacation's maybe the wrong word, maybe like a active recovery, kind of a week off. But it's so difficult if you're like on the men's side where we've got a couple teams still grinding it out for that final spot, and they're going into these high stress situations all the way up until the first week in June. And then either you make it and now you have crunch time to try and prepare for the Olympic Games, or you miss it and you're super bummed, obviously, right? And so it's nice that the ladies can kind of prepare, again, on their terms. It varies for everyone. There's no right answer, of course.
And it's wild when you think about the history of beach volleyball. With our previous Olympians, we will have 3 new Olympians on the women's side. I can't remember the last time that's taken place. It's kind of wild to think about that number, as Sarah Hughes going for her first, as well as Kristen Nuss and Taryn Kloth.
Yeah, that is very awesome. Very, very awesome, because it is certainly a very unique experience, and I'm happy the world has returned to, you know, some form of normalcy, because Tokyo was a very, very bizarre experience, unfortunately, in a bad kind of a way. Interesting foot fault call on Kloth just a second ago there.
So 12-7, again, a chance to play underneath the Eiffel Tower. Now they have earned that right. Taryn Kloth, Kristen Nuss, they've also earned the right, earn one more point. Nuss with the scoop. That's a slappy block. Can't recover. Yet again, Taryn Kloth, Kristen Nuss.
Yeah, great play from Tony Rodriguez, reading shot, waiting, kind of delaying her block. But good coverage, and you know, sometimes you just got to keep chipping away, keep making good plays, and hoping the ball finds the sand. It didn't, unfortunately, for Gina and Tony on that one, but good play nonetheless.
Blocked straight down again. We've seen so many of those fingertip blocks from Taryn Kloth today. Feels like she's already 6'5". She's just using those last and few inches to kind of dictate terms up at the net.
Well, it's a tough adjustment to have to make, right? Because you can kind of set the ball in a certain window against most blocks, but against the likes of like an Alex Kleiman or certainly a Taryn Kloth, that window has to be pushed back off the net a little bit. That set getting a little too close.
Speaking of the Olympic rankings, here's a look at the world rankings with Taryn Kloth, Kristen Nuss all the way up at that #2 spot. So this is what's wild. Not only are they going to be first-time Olympians, but there's also a shot that, and a very good shot, they could medal, if not take home a gold.
Well, yeah, any of those teams you see right there are absolutely in medal contention, and it would be no surprise for any of those teams to be standing atop the podium at the end of the Olympic Games. It's really impressive how much parity there is on both sides of the sport right now, and yeah, that we have 2 women's teams in the top 5 is phenomenal.
Well, and not to mention 3 of the top 5 teams in the world are playing in this Huntington Beach event on the women's side. Taryn Kloth, Kristen Nuss still in action. Melissa Humana-Perez and Brandy Wilkerson also having moved on, as have Kelly Chang and Sarah Hughes. There was a big upset on the men's side with the #2 seed losing. Avery Drost and Phil Dahlhauser in the first round. Qualifier continuing to work their way through.
Yeah, I wonder if that was a mini protest by Phil for being moved off of stadium court.
I don't know. Does Phil protest?
No. He actually
like one of the nicest guys. Like, how do you get him even angry?
Well, I mean, obviously that's 100% facetious on my part, because I saw him before that even happened, and he goes, you know what? I've been on stadium court plenty of times in my life. I'm happy to play outside. Yeah, he is one of the all-time greats, not only on the court, but off the court as well.
I think that one just caught the outer edge of the line for Kloth. You know, some of my favorite battles on the AVP throughout the last several seasons was actually between Kristen Nuss and Kloth, Alex and April. I think back to some of those battles that you saw, just because you saw two of the premier and highest touch blocks that you'll see. As there's another finesse play. That's the second time we have seen the ping pong action from Kloth and Kristen Nuss. I'm not sure what was better, the defense or the offensive play from Kristen Nuss.
I'm going to go with the offense. Let's get another look here. Full layout. She gets up. Watch the feet, though. Gets all the way there, lunges into it, and gets that heel on the ball to get it all the way to the corner. Just fantastic stuff, start to finish from TKN.
Some jumbo shrimp for you on this Friday. I mean, it is hitting about that 5 o'clock cocktail hour. I'm not gonna lie. Who's got the shrimp? There's sushi next door, so.
Oh, all right.
Just saying.
Somebody looking to unwind after day one.
Well, everyone else, you know, they're just chilling all day, watching, enjoying a cocktail. We get to do it after the fact. 17-7 here. Kloth and Nuss. Here's a look at us. Hi, guys. So good to have everybody in here. I thought maybe they were trying to see if we were being a little suspect up here.
No, we were trying to peer in and listen in on the timeouts, but yeah, we got busted.
I mean, you do have a Yeti in front of you. What's in it, I'm not exactly sure.
Electrolytes and Crystal Light.
Really? Seriously? Oh, yeah, that's where you're headed after, right?
That's right.
I don't know if that's in your workout routine and regimen nutritionally.
I'm not a drinker. It's not like that's not a fitness related thing. I just don't have the taste for it.
I mean, you have plenty of fun without it, Rich.
Yeah, I am a bundle of joy.
Okay, I would not go as far as to say that. I might limit some of those adjectives, but, you know, it's fine.
Fair enough.
You're a bundle of something.
Bundle of something. I'm tightly wound, at the very least.
You're the bundle, I'll be the joy. They will be great.
There you go.
That's our combination.
It's teamwork, baby, teamwork.
Speaking of teamwork, it's a one-man team right now. Kloth with a big block. How many times have I said that today?
Quite a few. And this, I'm going to say, and you can agree or disagree, I don't think this is what we expected, another just beating.
No. No. I mean, they are facing a new team, but ooh! Coming out with the set on the dig. That thing was clean.
This will come as no surprise to you, Cameron. I can't hand set a ball that cleanly on just a normal, nice, loopy, soft pass. She took a full attack, sucked it in, and put it out with zero spin. That was amazing. Kristen Nuss yet again.
A little saucy. And Rodriguez and Urango just cannot find their footing here. Tough to find the rhythm needed to face off against Kloth and Nuss. It is a set point.
The wheels are off the bus currently.
I feel like that should be worth 2. Finding one off the edge of a block, especially one that big.
It keeps the referees and the players on their toes, because we don't very often see the 28 side change. Yeah.
That is fair. You got to do a little math.
Yeah.
A little mental math.
You got to have like your little crib sheet in your pocket or something to do all the multiples of 7.
Oh! A little swat from the top.
Did we hear the get that out of here?
I'm here for it.
Yeah.
Bring it on.
I'm here for it too. That takes some chutzpah to say that at 9-20, but I like it. Get yourself fired up for set number 2.
Exactly. Finding the rhythm starts right here. Let's see if they can find a dig. There's a good touch and the turn. Another full out from one lefty to another.
Oh, right.
High, deep poke, and that falls inbounds. Taryn Kloth and Kristen Nuss keeping Rodriguez and Urango away from double digits.
Yeah, that is, like I said, not what we expected coming into this one. But yet again, just another business-like performance from TKN.
So set one belongs to the #1 seed, 21-9. Set two just around the corner.
We need to bring energy at every single point. Every point, we're down.
This is our first big out of the year.
Every point.
Never
Serious pressure. We gotta pick up.
The AVP is brought to you by Wilson, the official ball of the AVP.
How about a little magic? How about a little magic, huh?
Looking cool as cucumbers, and understandably so. 21-9 in the set #1. Kloth and Nuss, 13 kills, 2 errors. Their first match of the day, they only had 1 combined between the 2 of them. So they have 3 on the day at this point. Rodriguez and Urango, it's not necessarily just about the errors, but you got to find a way to put the ball down. Where is the struggle on their side in terms of, is it the first contact? Is it simply the side out? Is it the set? What are you seeing?
Yeah, I don't know that it's any of that. You know, you can't really control some of that stuff. You're running into the best, maybe the best defensive team in the world in TKN.
Yeah.
I think they just really need to focus on their serving first and foremost. That's something they can control. They can't control the result of it, but they've got to apply some pressure somehow. Try and get that error number up on the side of Taryn and Kristen, if at all possible.
Track that, as they'd have just 3 on the day between the 2 of them. It's efficiency at its finest. Here's Urango. Looking to attack from that right side. Finds the antenna, the candy cane instead.
Yeah, this is what good teams make you do, right, is try and do too much, so to speak. Try and play outside yourself a little bit, and that's when errors start to creep in.
Add 1 more block for Taryn Kloth. She's now up to 4. They might be leading not just on the blocking category, but also from an efficiency standpoint after day #1.
Yeah, what I love about watching them, though, in both of their matches today is they don't look like they're doing anything crazy, right? There's great plays that sneak their way in, but they're kind of the epitome of just making good play after good play after good play. The great's going to come here and there, of course. They're great athletes, but they just keep making kind of the simple, efficient plays over and over and over again, and it wears opponents down, as we're seeing.
And not trying to do necessarily too much, just making the right play at the right time. Really playing outside of themselves, not really having to at any point. Once again, up and over the top. It's a little interesting to watch some of the set location for Taryn Kloth. It seems as if her approach, those last 2 steps, she really likes to kind of hang back and jump pretty significantly inside on those last 2 steps, as opposed to really being quite underneath that ball. It seems like a hard adjustment for a blocker to kind of have to trail inside constantly.
Well, and especially at her height, when you have kind of the advantage of being able to adjust to a set that's maybe not in a perfect location, that's exactly what you want to do, because everything stays in front of you. Your momentum's going into the ball, so your power's going into the ball.
Allow the system on the side of TKN, and she even got a piece of that one. The redirect off the top of the net. You got to start taking those as wins on the side of Rodriguez and Urango, though. Look at that Scooby Scoop. Get after it, Gina.
Great scoop. Sometimes the Beatles need a little help from their friends. This time, Gina will take a little help from the net.
So you have musical references, movie references.
What you're finding out is I have zero original thoughts. I just regurgitate.
You just take from everybody. Hey, you know what? You used it in a new way. You can claim it, Rich. I'll give it to you.
All right.
Urango again. Attacking from the outside. It's interesting to see just some of the offensive selections for so many of these athletes. And there is such gamesmanship, even in terms of where you attack the ball from, whether it's out of the middle, the timing of your set, the location in which obviously you're hitting the ball. I mean, there are so many different things that you can really try and throw a defense off with.
Yeah. I mean, you can't give a good defense the same look or they're going to dial in on you, right? And that's a little taste of what Gina and Tony need right there, that great serve.
How about another back-to-back for Urango?
Here. One.
And once more, watch out, Tony Rodriguez is starting to throw some flames.
Yeah, she is not short on emotion, certainly.
When she played alongside Savvy Simo, it was both of them like that constantly.
Right. You got to treat that like you're working the deck of an aircraft carrier and wear your earplugs just so you don't hurt your hearing, listening to the two of them get after it.
Hey, you got to do what it takes, man. So far, they're staying nice and close here in set 2. The 1-point advantage. Change up. The reversal, the lefty from Urango. She put some sauce on that. From lefty to righty. Urango is everywhere from her attack.
Yeah, I like that, though. Again, as you mentioned, kind of mixing up the offense, going around to the left side, hitting with the left hand. That is something we know she's got in her arsenal, the amphibiousness, I think they call that, right?
No.
No?
I think you're looking for ambidextrous?
I was close. Yeah.
I think amphibious, you're going to be a bit more west of our location.
Gotcha.
Just take about 100 steps that way.
100 steps west.
Can the energy continue? Rodriguez and Urango. She's got to serve. They're going after Kloth. She's showcasing some of her own shots.
Yeah, but they're getting the offense of Taryn and Kristen a little bit out of sorts, right? Starting with some less than perfect passes. They're doing what they have to do at this point, and it's got them a 2-point advantage. Can they stay on top of it? We'll have to wait and see, but they're doing all the right stuff here early.
They've also got Eric Baranek in the coach's box. In their ear on that side switch. Oh, jeez. How much sand did she scoop while making contact?
Yeah, that's an excellent question, because that did not look like she was going to get there, right? And then she just found some extension, got underneath that ball. That was incredible.
She looked like she was sifting through the sand, trying to find the old wedding ring. That is a heck of an angle.
Just a little extra glance at Tony after that one. Have a look right here. Yoink. Yeah, just a glance.
Oh, that's enough.
Just a glance. Just make sure everyone saw that. We saw it, Tara.
She did that even with her shoulders still somewhat to the middle of the court.
Yeah.
I'm here for the edge between these two teams. Keep bringing it. Tony Rodriguez falling back. Tough one. She was trying to look for the late pull.
That was just fantastic patience on the part of Taryn and Kristen defensively. Taryn saw that the shot was not going to go quickly down the line, so she waited. Kristen held her ground in the backcourt, got it right in her lap, gets the put away. Good stuff.
Missed that last number for Kloth and Nuss. They're 15-5 when winning the first set.
That's a good record, right?
Safe to say.
Yeah, fantastic set, pushing that all the way wide to the pin so the right-handed Taryn Kloth can slap it down the line.
Taryn and Kristen picked up 2 wins last year in Atlanta and Chicago, 2 of the Gold Series events, which earned them the right to have that #1 seed. They've won 6 AVP titles in their partnership. Oh, over the top of her head. What do you call that?
That was the Tommy?
No, I was talking about the attack.
Oh.
That didn't even look like a poke.
That's the knuckle dropper. We see T. Krabs do that. They have pretty similar games, I would say, Kristen and Taylor Crabb. Just the vision. Obviously, Taylor's got, I think, a little bit more pop in his right arm. But defensively and kind of from a vision standpoint, they are very, very similar.
Whose cut's better?
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to have to give that to Kristen.
I think so, too. Sorry, Tay.
I mean, the control of that, we haven't seen control on a tomahawk like that since Casey Patterson, where, I mean, it's just second nature to her. She's passing that perfectly into the arms of Taryn Kloth at the net. We
saw the Tommy set today.
That's right.
From April Ross. That was a different look.
That was a different look. We saw from TKN in their first match as well. We saw the spike dig from Taryn go to the Tommy set from Kristen.
Things you never thought you'd say in a sentence.
Wow.
But there's another, the quick snap. She can hit it straight down too.
She can. She's got more pop than, you know, we think, because she shoots the ball around so well. The key to that play right there, though, was the recognition of the ball coming over. That ball was launched from the end line here on the side of Tony and Gina, and Kristen saw that, got underneath it perfectly.
A look to the AVP schedule, the Heritage events. A great way to qualify into the league. This is what it's coming to in 2024. Some exciting stuff as we head off to September. You got to earn your right in. Only the top 8 men's teams and women's teams will make it to the league. And we've discussed it all day, and we will continue to, because there's going to be nothing quite like this. A chance to see the best of the best in the format that will serve them in terms of their physicality, their ability to scout, and bringing them all across the country. One men's pair, one women's pair will make up each team. There will be a draft in terms of where they will be kind of situated alongside one another. We haven't even discussed this part of it, though. Because you're now on a team with another, say, men's and women's team, you have an extra set of eyes and ears in the box with you that can make adjustments. You're going to see camaraderie and different sort of partnerships come to life from the men's to the women's side and connecting the two. Yeah,
it'll be a really cool vibe because you'll have, I don't know, this team element to it, right? You're kind of a 2-person squad out there, but I don't know, it's almost an individual sport of sorts in its normal format. This will provide more of a team element that we're kind of accustomed to in our big sports in this country, and I'm excited to see how that plays out.
I'm just picturing like April Ross coaching up some of the guys.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about? Like, it's going to be insane.
Well, it's great to get that, like you said, extra set of eyes on any given match from people who know the game inside and out and can kind of pick up things that maybe you're not seeing real time. Kevin and I mentioned it. We've got your schedule covered until the end of the calendar year, so go ahead and put away your 2024 calendar. We've got you booked.
Yeah, every single weekend come fall. Rodriguez, they still continue to work on Kloth. And keep looking to maybe try and find that angle shot. She's come away with several of those just open over the top. Rodriguez not necessarily pulling into that location. Yeah, well, she was jumping into the angle to block that. You can see Gina run to the line. It was just well seen by Taryn. Not the smoothest of side outs from TKN, but effective nonetheless. TKN remaining errorless in set 2.
Yeah.
From an attacking standpoint. On the match, they each have 1. How about this? We talked about the fingertip blocks.
Yeah, just sneaking that one underneath. Yeah, I like the dialogue from Tony there. Gina misses that serve long, but she's very positive with her partner, Tony Rodriguez, saying that's exactly what we need to do, especially, excuse me, from this good side where we got the wind in our face. Good execution from Gina on that cut shot. Had to go up and over Taryn at the net.
So we've been talking so much about the league. If you were drafting somebody, what team would you draft?
If I were drafting a team, that is going to make enemies for me to answer that question.
Exactly.
Exactly. Yeah, I mean, it's hard to go wrong with this team right here. TKN, if I got first draft pick, I think that's where I'm going.
And you have the ability to either draft a men's team first or the women's team first and then follow. So you could go either direction. Interesting.
Sorry, I misunderstood. I thought I was still a player dominating the tour like clearly I have in my mind for years. You're saying if I were picking either a men's team or a women's team first. I'm gonna stick with my choice.
I like it.
Go with your gut instinct.
No problem.
I'm sitting here trying to figure out who I'd go with.
That's right.
Oh. Do I go? Actually, I might go Trevor and Theo.
Okay.
Yeah. We had Trevor up in the booth. I feel like I'm all about the black hat, a little bit of villain in you. And I also think Theo might be one of the most entertaining humans you will ever meet.
Away from the volleyball court?
I think he is one of the wittiest, like all the stuff that he can come up with and the razzing. I'm all about like pretty stark sarcasm.
Yes.
So I'm going to go with Theo. Theo, you know what? People are giving me crap right now. I've got people in my ear.
You are speaking away from the volleyball court, though.
So then you can slot it. And then
I'm just saying he's an entertaining human off the court.
I agree
On the
with
court,
you.
his blocking can be significant.
Right. What a diplomat you are. That I agree with all of those assessments.
You just gotta, if you know a little bit. I think maybe, well, there's no, because even if you mic'd him up, he might not say enough.
He's extremely witty and a very, very funny person. I grant you that entirely. I don't know if all of his humor and entertainment value translates to the volleyball court. Is all I would say.
So how do we make that happen?
I do think that's a solid choice. I'm not trying to disagree with the choice.
I know my choice is good. Yeah. Don't worry about that.
I'm comfortable with my choices.
That was not up for debate.
Oh, we still have a volleyball game going on. It's 17-12 TKN.
They were in a timeout. It's fair. That was a fair conversation. I can't wait to get a text from Theo now.
That was a really nice swing from Gina around to the left side.
Great swing, Gina! Let's go right now!
Yeah, you can see how Tony and Gina are a good pair, because when they're firing on all cylinders, you never know which side Gina's going to hit from or with which hand.
That's true. We've seen a few of the lefty.
Yeah, TKN just imposing their will a little bit too strongly in this one, creeping closer to the finish line.
Just really impressed with Taryn Kloth's vision, as you can see it come to life with that 650 hitting percentage for the two of them.
Yeah, when you can go up and feast onto the 6-foot line cross court, you take a lot of the need for vision out of things.
That is true, but even then, Tony Rodriguez has been throwing some angle blocks into there, and she's had a nice job going up and over the top, or even there that time recognizing the line block.
Very true.
Going heavy into the angle.
Very true.
Yes, I got another one. You can't even disagree with me right now. This is epic.
What is happening?
I actually got Trevor one too earlier today. He was like, I want to disagree, but I can't.
Yeah, I'm impressed that he spoke English long enough to.
He did good.
Yeah, no, Trevor is. See, he's a guy who kind of belies his on-court personality with his off-court personality as well, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. He's extremely engaging and friendly and funny away from the volleyball court. And you wouldn't guess that watching him kind of chirp at people and poke the bear and all the stuff he does on the court.
Turning is Taryn Kloth. That one coming right back. Tony Rodriguez not only peppering that ball, but peppering the hand of Gina Urango.
I was going to say, I'm a little worried about the elbow tendons of Gina on the team high fives after a good point.
Let's go, Tony. Quiet platform, Kristen Nuss. Shoves that back down. Gosh, you make one good play, and I love it. Kristen and Taryn just giving a little bit of a chuckle there, saying, I don't know how we came away with that one, but nonetheless, they did.
I hate to do the Taylor Crabb comparison again, because she's not the next Taylor Crabb. She's the first Kristen Nuss, right? But the self-coverage is another thing that they have in common, right? Just slapping that into the block and the unbelievable reaction time.
Match point, Kloth and Nuss. Right on it, Kristen Nuss.
Oh, yeah.
Slaps that in the hands and looks straight across at the other LSU Tiger.
I love the aggressive swing, though, to close out a match. Not trying to chip it around. Stay aggressive, finishing out strongly.
Kristen Nuss, Taryn Kloth making not just one statement today, but two wins that saw them keep teams under 15 points. That was the highest somebody had scored against them today.
Yeah, that was a very impressive performance all day long from the 1 seed. As you might expect, we didn't expect it to be that good.
They will face off in the quarterfinals versus Melissa Humana Paredes and Brandy Wilkerson. It's a 1 versus 4. That's just, I'm sorry, this is insane. When you have 3 of the top 5 teams in the world, that's the quarterfinal you get.
1 versus 4 in this tournament, 2 versus 4 in the world rankings.
It doesn't get much better than this. The AVP is going next level. This women's draw is a daunting task to have to face, and this team is even more clutch. Taryn and Kristen putting on a display against Rodriguez and Urango. What is the insect that jumps the highest?
Is this a trick question?
No.
Yeah, a cricket or yeah. I mean, there have to be some sort of beetles that jump
because
50
I just
times
think
there.
Kristen Nuss, she's got to be like, we got to come up with a good nickname for her because she's so small in stature, just 5'6", but she jumps so well, and she peppered the last one, so you got to give her a little extra.
Since we're wearing out the Taylor Crabb comparisons, we can't come up with a bug.
I know, that's fair. That's too many. Well, I can't wait to see what your Google search looks like. How high does an insect jump? That's coming tomorrow. But here's a look at the final draw as we will head off to day 2 to Saturday action here at the Huntington Beach Open. We can't wait to see how this all shakes out from the men's and the women's draw. So much to be played for in the first Heritage event of the 2024 season. Thanks so much for hanging out with us on this first day. For myself, Cameron Irwin, Rich Lamborn sitting right next to me. We also have Kevin Barnett and Mark Sherman who have brought you so much fun throughout the day. We can't wait to be back with you Saturday morning.